Hey people, Indrid here, 3v3, Greysuck, Undercity. Blue team is a whole bunch of Eldar. We have Survive as a Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporter hero fighting in ranged combat by default. Great for capping and harassing, some powerful control. Took a few seconds to get going, but there's your teleport right there. Alongside, Sparks with a Farseer, support hero fighting in melee, some powerful buffs and control, the Exarch's elite scheme, and rounding off the blue Eldar, we have GQs as a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat, some powerful disruption and support. This is the same Han elite scheme. Red team got 3 heavyweights. Meaty is a Chaos Lord, a durable and destructive hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense and disruption, fighting in melee. Some good old Black Legion here. Alongside, Crewfinity as a Warboss, a melee hero walking through objects, very good offense, disruption and support from the front lines, just ignoring the Farseer stomping on the Banshees, then got knocked over by one of them somehow. I guess they were in the middle of a special when he stomped. Ran into trouble though, too eager to fight, and rounding off the teams is SirPantaloons with a Hive Tyrant, a very durable hero walking through objects that cannot be suppressed with powerful offense, disruption and support. Begins in melee with a basic synapse. I shall call you Rodrigo. Rodrigo is capping a wreck point because he's awesome. Banshees having a look at him. They are a big threat to a low-level Hive Tyrant. Taking some Guardian Shuriken catapult fire. Some Orks going to back them up. But the Hive Tyrant, Rodrigo, probably shouldn't have stood there so long. Eldar should be able to push on them here with 2 heroes, you would think. Is GQ's? Yeah, GQ's still got their Guardians here. What's going on in the northeast? I see someone's fallen over. It is the Warp Spider Exarch. How did that happen? Got caught by the Heretics maybe? And some Boltify, I guess. Chaos Space Marines getting into melee with Guardians. They'll easily take them out in melee. They didn't drop a model though. Even the Chaos Lord was in there. Can they get one on retreat? They can. Horn would have been very unhappy if one didn't fall apart and die. Now the Warboss comes up to the northeast, scaring off the Banshees. They were already going to get scared off, I think. Back down to the southwest at Banshees with a War Shout. Suppressing the Sluggers, but not the Hormagaunts. They couldn't stay in long enough to suppress the Hormagaunts too, I think. Rodrigo trying to get in on some Guardians. He'll be able to tie them up for ages. Hormagaunts are still chasing. Now they can get into a flanking position on the Guardians. They're taking some fire, but they're in there. Surely they'll get a model. They do. Decent little push from SirPantaloons here. Termagants being forced off by Banshees. 2 heroes now on the Hive Tyrant, trying to decap the wreck point. That was very sloppy. Just as I said, they did well, of course. The curse of Indrid, and down they go. Here comes the Warboss now. Not sure why Crewfinity went northeast. They seem to be doing fine up there. Meaty just wanted in on some action, I guess. Meaty with double CSM, by the way. Double shooters and double termagants. The Warboss with a big old stomp. 2-to-1 cap here for that red team. Double ranges up for Survive. We got double shuriken cannons for GQs with those Guardian weapon teams. Where are they? They're coming out of base right now. No effort yet to go and revive the Warp Spider Exarch. Rodrigo up to his feet and promptly runs away. Warboss chasing things around, being knocked over though by the Warlock leap and has to run. I hear spiky armor. Yeah, those chainsaw sounds when he gets hit in melee is spiky armor. Also see the enhanced custom shooter in play. Good for shutting down units and also gives us some good ranged DPS as well. Banshees on the power. Did they get a full bash here? Or was this not built up yet? They got a full bash. That's very nicely done by Survive. Triple Rangers. Wonder if that's a mistake. Double Guardians with their battle equipment here. Could be looking for the Heretics to close for melee. I think the Banshee should have hung back there. Try and get the Heretics to commit and then get grenaded. Maybe they can do so to the Hormagaunts. Banshees, I think, a little bit eager to get into a fight there. Those were Sparks Banshees with the aspect of fleetness. And here is that Farseer using the fleet to get in on the shooters. Gets an immediate special attack. That's pretty useful. They took tons of damage there. And now in amongst some Hormagaunts who also run. No adrenal glands for those guys. No toxin sacs for the double termagants either. These are SirPantaloons all the way from the southwest. Not sure why they abandoned it. They shoot them good for the Farseer. And then eats one of her own grenades and goes down in retreat. Well, an Orky moment there for the Eldar. That was a perfectly placed grenade on that retreating Farseer. I guess Sparks thought the Warboss was going to charge in, but he stood still and did his shoot 'em good in. She seemed to run through it though. Maybe it ran out and then she ran off. It seemed like the stun stopped prematurely. We have the double guardian weapon teams not covering each other, but they are covering a wide area. Warboss is going to try and get around. Needs to be careful though. Banshees are around and another shuriken. Not to mention the Warlock, of course, that can knock you over just by jumping at you. Meanwhile, in the mid, Guardians getting caught by shooter boys, grenading themselves, and sluggers there for Crewfinity. No upgrades for those fellas. Some grenade lessons are needed, I think. Both players killing something with their own grenade so far. Farseer repurchased. Going to go and try and get that Warp Spider Exarch up. Survive with all the Rangers. 4 Rangers coming out in Tier 1 with Banshees. That's going to be pretty cool. Do they all have Pathfinder gear? Well, all aside from the last one. So they have the 75 damage per hit rifles and the kinetic pulse and the hollow fields. Very, very useful fellas. Not to mention they can just infiltrate themselves without the hollow fields, I'm pretty sure. With an energy drain. Yeah, infiltrate. Blue team overrunning the northeast, and the Farseer will get a revive, and that will level them, I should say. Warlock in trouble, but gets out. Lots of Daka. We have a big shooters and knob leader for those shooter boys. Can they get on the VP? This power here, near the natural victory points, can be tricky to hit because it's just so close to the HQ. This one's much easier to hit. That was a conscious choice from me when I made this map. I didn't think I'd... When you lose your natural VP, if you also lose one of your natural powers, that's rough. Especially if it happens early. That's like almost game over sometimes. So I wanted to make it a little bit trickier and more of a commitment needed to get to this power. Especially wanted to encourage transport usage around the bottom of the map. That's why there's some open area around the edge. 382 to 417. One gen goes down from Daka. Warboss backs off, knows that there's guarded weapon teams on the way, I guess. They take some heavy cover, and they're going to be backed off here. Warboss goes for it. Oh, wasn't targeted, gets in. A little bit sloppy there from GQs. Maybe they assumed the Warboss would be targeted as the closest unit, but I guess not. Farseer revives the Warlock now, and levels to 3. Nice grenade. Doesn't get a kill, but it was a nice grenade. They got one as they shot them, though. Sluggers grab the VP. Now need to run, fellas. They look shell-shocked. Don't run in. I think Crewfinity forgot about them. That was just a natural run at something they could see there. Warboss, I think, was taking all their attention. They weren't upgraded sluggers, so it's not the end of the world. They could just get them back up in Tier 2 and give them a knob leader immediately. There's your Psychic Storm. Great for blobs of especially light infantry that take quite a lot of damage from it. Does it tell me the damage here? 6 power melee damage. Oh, I thought it was piercing. It's alright. Also has the Spirit Stones. Farseer's in a rough spot. We've got a Warrior Brood up in melee. Crewfinity has indeed replaced the Sluggers, and we got a Weird Boy on the way. I was just about to say a Warboss on the way. Imagine if you could get another Warboss on the field. That would be pretty mental. We have double Blood Crushers from Meaty. He's sick of these Rangers, I guess. Survive, you know what? Gets Tier 2 in decent time for having 4 Rangers out, all with hollow fields. Did not upgrade the Banshees and did not upgrade the Guardians. They really focused their upgrades and power usage and expenditure on those Rangers. We have a Webway up in the north. There's those Rangers doing the thing, but Blood Crusher in their face now. They try to infiltrate and create some space. I'm going to try not to move them together so that the Blood Crusher can't see them all. Those guys wiped, did they? No, I still see 4. Oh, were there more than 4? No, they're all here. They're all here. They just dropped some models. I guess when they shoot, they reveal themselves anyway, so I guess sticking together isn't the worst idea. And they do lose sight of them maybe when they, after the shot kind of thing. 338 to 401. Shuriken Cannon trying to bash this node down here that's been stolen by the dastardly red team. We have a Tyrant guard up for SirPantaloons. Can get these from his global bar. Not sure if that was the case here. Kind of just hanging out alone here. Sad, lonely Tyrant guard. Heretics replaced for Meaty. And they're pushing in alongside Crewfinity to harass the power. Double Blood Crushers pushing in. That was a cracked shot on the right lance of Survive there, but it gets tied up. And in they go, while Crewfinity duckers the power. This could be problematic, let's say. Sparks does have Warp Spiders, and they do have their Haywire, but they are other side of the map bashing right now. Can they kill the Bright Lance? It is trying to keep moving, and they do get the 50% damage resistance aura at base. That's that blue that you see there. There's another Bright Lance from GQ's. Gonna get one, I think. Yeah, one Blood Crusher goes down. Was that worth it? It might have been. They killed a bunch of models. They got a full power bash. It might have been worth one Blood Crusher, maybe. Trying to get some Banshee models now. Can't quite do it. That Zap will jump to the Farseer. And will she get close to something for it to jump again? Yes, it jumped to the Bright Lance and took a model. I think it does. I think it's 50 damage per jump, but that seems high. It might be less than that. Double Tyrant Guard for SirPantaloons. Awesome. 317 to 391. Webway in the south now for the Eldar. They got one north and one south. Here's Crewfinity to get in around the Eldar that are trying to push through. Warlock is persuaded to leave by lots of Tyranid acid and stuff. Got the Witchblade of Kernus. And Sluggers almost get him 1 hit point. They get him somehow. They got him with their terrible Slugger weapons. 317 to 374. I think those sidearms are literally 1 DPS. But they got it done, even on retreat. Here's that Weird Boy. Has the Warpath. And the Sluggers, as we saw, are upgraded fully. I guess it's tier 3 now for Crewfinity. Oh no, Meaty lost their other Blood Crusher. And the Heretics are dead. And all sorts of shenanigans going on that I missed completely. Oh, look, here we go. Tons of dead stuff. Maybe it was a grenade. They're all clumped together there. Do they have a grenade? Yeah, they have a... No, they don't. Survive does not have a grenade. Maybe, oh, maybe it was Sparks Guardians that did it. On the power, and Rangers harassing stuff in base. Ouch. Almost wiped those CSM. That was so close. These CSM are now going to take big bursts of damage. I hear Banshees yelling somewhere. Is it you guys? Oh, it's you guys are in trouble. Sluggers take him out. Warboss with a special attack, a very fancy one. It's got the boss pole up, by the way. There's use your choppers on the Sluggers. Why are they still there, these things? It's a Bright Lance. Why is it staying there? Weird Boy's being tossed around by the Farseer. Now has the Gravity Blade. And there is Levitation Field. Banshees on the Sluggers. Sluggers are low. Well, the Banshees got knocked over by there. Was it special? Must have been a special attack or something. Double cap now for blue. Weird Boy flees. Warp Spider's doing some work. Not sure what they're buffed by here. Maybe the it was just Guide from the Farseer and then she ran off. Seer Council on the field for GQs. They'll do a lot of damage to those Tyrant Guards. They'll take a lot of damage as well, though. What is this? They've stolen some power. These sneaky shooter boys. Maybe they'll go for the VP now. Lots of action in the middle of the map at the moment. The players are like catching each other in transit to the north and south, I think. Double Tyrant Guards looking very healthy. And they're under Synapse, so they're nice and quick. Well, quick for a Tyrant Guard. Where is the Rodrigo? Here he is. Rending Talons and improved Synapse. Another Seer Council on the way for Sparks. Warlock still down in the mid. And Chaos Lord down in the northeast. Warp Spider getting a bunch of Bolt of Fire with Eternal War up, taking a bunch of damage. Banshee's coming in. There's the War Shout. Power melee kicks. Oh, Bloodlust is used. Yeah, there's Bloodlust from Meaty, buffing damage of all of his troops with each hit they get in, including ranged attacks. They're going to whack the Banshees. They get it done. Weird Boy helping out there with a Warp Vomit, one of his starting abilities. Not quite as gross as it sounds, but pretty awesome area of effect stun that doesn't affect allies. Warp Spider gets chased off. I think is going to be alright. Oh, no, they got a melee attack in. Was not okay. Super not okay. I hear the Tyranids yelling and screeching. There's the Levitation Field. Doesn't throw the Tyrant guards into the air, of course. They seem not to be moving, though. There we go. Double Bright Lances getting shots in. It's more efficient to fight these things with plasma damage and that kind of thing, but anti-vehicle weapons will do some work for you too. They're super heavy infantry, not vehicle armor, these things, unless they go into their shield wall self-heal mode. See, a council dealt with. The Hive Tyrant is level 2. Tyrant guards might want to back off now. Lots of damage on the Farseer. It's like 90 odd DPS with a, I think it's 15 damage splash on the Tyrant guard. And I was going to say SirPantaloon really needs to go tier 3. There it is. There's the tier 3 on the way. Rodrigo falls down but can get revived for 250 if they're patient. And now the Tyrant guards need to try and escape. There's a capillary tower to help them out with some speed. They might need to use their charge if it's available. I think it is. They got full energy. I haven't used it yet. They're going after the weaker one. Needs to charge. Oh, there's some suppression from Crewfinity with aiming. What's that? Maybe the charge is on cooldown. They're not using it. Gonna lose that Tyrant guard. Down he goes. Here comes the Warboss. Level 6. Done well. Chaos Predator on the way for Meaty. Looted tank for Mr. Crewfinity. Everyone's tier 3. Well, SirPantaloons will be tier 3 momentarily. And GQs with a fire... Where is that Warlock, by the way? Oh, just got repurchased. Where's the Warp Spider? Should get revived from there pretty easily. Down to 3 Rangers and an Avatar on the way. For lots of infantry buffs. The Seer Council love to hang around an Avatar for the awesome buffs they get. And there's that Fire Prism. Long-range fire support with disruption built into the dispersed shot. You can change it to a more focused shot as well. Some good versatility built in. Can they get this Warboss down? Guardian's trying to melee him. Sea Council should get it done, I think. Oh, he's in full motion now. They might not be able to do it. Warp Spider's got it done, I think, with their ranged DPS. Unless that was a melee attack at the end there. Might have been. 300 to 219. Might have just been a an idle animation. That was Psychic Scream, I think. Yes, for the Hive Tyrant. 30% less damage. I think it's 15 seconds, which is typically going to cover most of an engagement. Without number, dropping in some Termagants and Formagants, upgraded Termagants and Formagants, and a Swarm Lord on the way. Here come the tanks though. Haywire Grenade on the Chaos Predator with Mark of Corn. Levitation Field going on. Hive Tyrant smacking on the Fire Prism for some reason. He's got Rending Talons, I think. Shouldn't be doing that. Fire Prism, sorry, Farseer goes down. Fire Prism's fine. Taking tank shots though. That tank is taking quite a big risk. Into Bright Lances, trying to chase the Fire Prism. Is going to go down. Did not know the Bright Lances were there, maybe. But down it went. Looted tank still trucking though. Or tanking. 2 Farseer heroes down there. Lots of potential XP for Survive if they can get here and revive them. Red team standing strong in the mid. And can now push on to the VP perhaps. Looted tank, can it hunt down the Fire Prism here? Double Bright Lances setting up. Sluggers can get in maybe. Fire Prism knocks them over. There's the big boom shot, which knocks over a bunch of Sluggers as well. And the CSM. Another Chaos Predator on the way for Meaty. They're down to just 2 units, you know. Survive, wow, with more Rangers, really. We have an Avatar. Looks like it cleaned up the northeast, taking very little damage. And they've got that VP now. What is this? Oh, it's a little tank still chasing. It's hard to, it can be hard to get your tank to shoot what you want it to when it's moving. Oh, goes down. Red team kind of throwing away a couple of their tanks there. Here's the Swarm Lord. Super unit for Tyranids. Devastating in melee, also provides a speed and reinforcement synapse, which is pretty awesome. There's Tyrant Guard sprinting around now. 295 to 165. I love when some units have different running animations depending on how fast they're going. I think most units do. It's a nice touch. 2 heroes down over here. Blue team sitting pretty in the northeast. We do have some power harassment. These poor Guardians, I was going to say, no battle equipment still. It's on the way though. They're getting one. Survive has the red for a nuke. In fact, Survive and Sparks have the red for a nuke. And GQ's almost has the red for a nuke. Just backs off here. Guardians need to be careful not to get finished off. Just got their upgrade. Battle Wagon on the way for Crewfinity. Warrior Brood for SirPantaloons. I guess their first Warrior Brood got taken out at some point. There's cracked shot on the Bright Lance. Look at the range. That's a global ability of the Warp Spider, giving extra damage and range. 285 to 154. Warlock runs the hell away from a Tyrant Guard, Hive Tyrant and Swarm Lord. I mean, I don't blame him. Hive Tyrant now has Crushing Claws. Maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe they were purchasing Crushing Claws as they were attacking that Fire Prism earlier. Think they're going to get the Farseer? No, they let the Farseer go. I think they could have got one more attack there. The Swarm Lord does have Vehicle Armor. 2,000 hit points of it. He's relatively speedy as well. And has a Leech Essence self-heal. But he needs to be around enemies to get the benefit of it. It kind of drains their health. Psychically, I guess. You know, drains their essence, such as it's called. Have they used the webways yet? I wonder. Might be very useful for late game, that southern one. 285 to 121. Swarm Lord trying to chase through. Taking some Bright Lance shots though. Meanwhile, northeast, big push from the red team with some vehicles. Battle Wagon, super unit for Orks. Kind of bounces around, runs things over and shoots. It's a fun time. And another Chaos Predator Mark of Corn. Oh, here we go. Webway being used. Eldritch. It's a good hit, a very good hit. Shuts down the brain of the Swarm Lord, just fries it. Messed up the warriors. They are reinforcing off the Swarm Lord though. Surprised they didn't just leave actually. There's the Leech Essence to try and keep the Swarm Lord alive. Only the Seer Council nearby to drain health from though. Might be enough to keep it alive. Seer Council down to the last man, I think. Those guys with power melee weapons, level 3 now. Warlock with a Ethereal Slash and then dies. He tried to get the Tyrant Guard with it, I guess. Needs to back off now though. So does the Fire Prism. What a messy fight. Did I hear a Rocks? Oh, there might have been a Rocks right here. 268 to 108. It's a messy game, but it still seems pretty even. Knob Squad on the way for Crewfinity. Another Fire Prism for GQs. Yeah, it's done well with that first one. That first Fire Prism's done quite well. The Seer Council did survive as well. Where's Sparks? Oh, they're down there. Level 2. Farseer is what? Level 7? Maybe she wants to get her Singing Spear now. Although, Gravity Blade will be very useful against the Knob Squad who just popped out. Elite Tier 3 Infantry. Can smack anything in the game to death. Especially with the right support and upgrades and stuff. Shooters, level 4. Look at that. He's not throwing his shooters away. They're being allowed to live. Often shooter boys will be chucked away to free up population for commandos or flash kits or something. Weird Boy levels to 3. Keeping an eye on any webways that might pop up, I suppose. Need to back off Battle Wagon, taking swings and hits from the Avatar. The Avatar, as you can see, with way more hit points than the Swarm Lord. That's because it doesn't have vehicle armor, it has super heavy infantry armor, which is vulnerable to Melter and Plasma and power weapons. And Inferno PvP weapons, of course, as well. Which Meaty might be able to get going, but the Battle Wagon might not survive. Down it goes, crashes into that thing. Double Bright Lances. Nothing really to shoot now, fellas. 211 to 108. Not sure what these shooter boys are up to. They were trying to hide, I think, maybe. The Warp Spider Exarch has Power Blades, a heavy melee weapon on a teleporting hero. That's right. It's pretty cool. Big fight brewing in the northeast. Swarm Lord here. Hive Tyrant here. Avatar. Seer Council. Farseer. Warp Spider Exarch's in there. A Fire Prism as well. I do not see the Chaos Lord. I'm not sure if he's still down. There's Leech Essence again. And some Chaos Terminators up. Maybe they'll get Lightning Claws to fight the Avatar. There's a Levitation. Field. Warp Spider, meanwhile, is capping stuff. And that's an Eldritch. Was going for the Swarm Lord maybe. In the end, it just hit some Termagants. Might have wiped one of them, but it wasn't the greatest nuke ever. There is the Seer Council and Warlock using the webway for a potentially nasty flank. I'm not sure if the Tyrant Guard is going to get away here. Looks like we have autocannon Terminators. Good damage to all targets, but they're being chased down by Seer Council. Seer Council will mess those guys up. Really mess those guys up. I only see 2 of them. Oh, the others got held up by the Fire Prism, I think. Warlock is also there with a power weapon of his own, the Witchblade of Kurnus. It's got Providence as well. They killed one Terminator. There's some Corn Worship to help them out, +2 speed. Terminators cannot retreat, if you're wondering. The Tyrant Guard made it out, though. Amazing. Red team have both the natural VPs, 156 to 108. Is that Crewfinity's Orks down there? Yeah, that's where the Knob Squad's been. Pushing through the south. Parano formation from SirPantaloons. Just to get the things the hell out of here, I guess. Providence was up for the Warlock. He's level 7, this fella now. Avatar's still pretty healthy, actually. Fire Prism on the way for Survive. They got those late Rangers up. That was interesting. Mark of Pawn, Chaos Space Marines level 4 getting stuck in. There's some Warp Spiders, might get them. Does get them. Those were Sparks. Sparks has got tons of red. Sparks is fighting down here. That's why they didn't do anything about that, I think. Got their own Avatar. And Knob Squad is dealt with. Yeah, Seer Council and Avatar. That's some good stuff. Especially with Farseer support. She's level 8, by the way. 300 energy to power her abilities. Avatar provides suppression immunity to nearby allies. And some defensive and offensive buffs, I believe. The Seer Council provides 15% range damage resistance. And I believe they overlap, and it's very powerful. Could get a Autark in there as well for even more passive buffs. Avatar stabs the Warboss to death with his big old sword. Isn't the sword? The sword is called the Wailing Doom, I think. Pretty sure that's right. Carnifex on the way for SirPantaloons, the first one we've seen, I think. Unless one died really fast. GQs with a triple Fire Prism play. Blue team have the northeast. Crewfinity seems to think it's over. So Pantaloons says we can still win. Terminator's trying to back off. Took another model loss there. Sluggers level 4 getting stuck in. But the Fire Prism's really bad news for them. Especially when there's an Avatar here. The Avatar does splash damage on hit. Big chunks of health. None of them died though. None of them died. Back down to the southwest. Oh, Warboss is down. Yeah, they need that Warboss up. With a boss pole alongside those knobs. Did he have an answer for all his Fire Prisms though? Not really. The Carnifex seems to have been cancelled. I was going to say a Venom Cannon Carnifex would do some work down here, but I don't know what happened to it. 128 to 59. Can the blue team hold on? Some Eldar webway shenanigans. A nice little flank here. Just an ambush. Warrior Brood have no chance against a Seer Council and a Warlock leveled up as they are. It's a level 3 Seer Council and a level 7 Warlock. With the Witchblade. Eldritch. Right on the Knob Squad. Ouch. And they were suppressed by the Psychic Storm. That was awesomely done. Don't think they can stay here, fellas. And there's Levitation Field now. They're just going to wipe, I think. Red team are done. Well done, blue team. So often we see Eldar capitulate in the late game. You have to really stay on the front foot and stay aggressive and keep hitting from different angles and stuff. It can't be predictable if you're Eldar. Just coming from the same direction. Yep, Eldar have it. 2-to-1 cap at the end. Swarm Lord on the way. I don't think it's going to hit the field in time though. There's the double and there's the concede from the red team. Awesome stuff. Frantic and fast until the end. Let's look at these heroes, eh? Level 3 Warp Spider Exarch with Power Blades and Shimmer Orb. I don't know how they only got level 3. Maybe they were down for a lot of the game. A level 9 Farseer. Awesome work throughout, I think. And a pretty solid Warlock at level 8 for GQs. Chaos Lord level 4. had some heavy losses mid-game, struggled to keep things up after that. I feel like when they chased through with that Predator, they kind of struggled from then on. Level 8 Warboss for Crewfinity. Maybe needed like 2 or 3 Nob squads. And yeah, the Fire Prisons were a massive pain in the ass. And SirPantaloons, Rodrigo, the Hive Tyrant, got level 4. There you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.